Recognize that tune, and you know it's time for Relics Radio. This is a family-friendly show, so the entire family can join us as we talk metal detecting and relic hunting. You can call into the show at 270-495-0315 or join in the chat and post any comments or questions you might have, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. You're listening to Relics Radio of Southern Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. And you are live on Relics Radio. It's Thanksgiving night, November the 22nd, 2018. And I hope that all you guys had plenty to eat today, you guys and gals, and are ready for another good show. We don't have a guest tonight. It's just going to be Jeff and myself. And but we're going to give away a Garrett Pro-Pointer and a Detectees hoodie, ain't we, Jeff?
We sure are. Gobble, gobble. Are you full of turkey?
I'm full of turkey. I tell you, I didn't eat that much today. I tried to kind of pace myself a little bit, and I generally gorge myself on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I only ate one plate, and I didn't pile it up too awful high. So I'm tickled with my moderation today. I did take a picture though of the bones whenever they pulled all the bones and everything out of the turkey and put it down on the counter. I took a picture of that and I said, "Oh, it's just a little dry." And then and then I got a comment. It said, "Save the neck for me, Clark." And then somebody else, "Are you serious, Clark?" How many people have not seen the Christmas Vacation, do you think, in the United States?
I don't know of anybody. It's one great show. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It is really great. So, but I tried to pace myself, but it didn't work. So I'm sitting here yawning and slobbering at the mouth and everything else. But I mean, it was bad. Of course, the turkey was great and the ham was even better. And of course, after you eat a lot of ham, then of course you need to drink a lot of water. So
I've got 2 or 3 bottles of water, but I always do that on the show. It doesn't matter, if I've had ham or turkey or whatever. I didn't know if we'd have anybody on the in the chat tonight, but it is absolutely full, isn't it?
It is. First off, we got Missouri Mike, we got Bill, Bob, Jason, Chris, Ken's in the house, Dennis, Jason S., Gavin, Tim Henderson's in the house. There's Ron Reed. I hadn't seen him in a while. Hello, Ron. Move on up. There's Earl. Wes is in the house. Bill. Let's see. It's a bunch of them.
There's a lot of them. Chris Cook from Australia, and I got Chris all hooked up. I think I got Chris all hooked up on Skype. So later on tonight, we're going to try that, Chris, get you to call in a little bit later.
There's Ohio Relic Hunters in the house now.
Oh, you guys need to get a life. Here we are. Here we are on Thanksgiving night, and y'all are in here listening to a couple of rednecks with a metal detector. Yeah, you need to get a life. But, toward the end of the show tonight, Jeff, we're going to draw, and I'm looking at the paper here. We had 40 people enter into that contest.
40 people. Wow, that's quite a bit. And even if you have a pinpointer, you can never have too many of them. And
no. I mean, that's something that That's something that, I go through pinpointers quite a bit, and Chris said it's lunchtime there for him, so it's hard for me to figure out, what the time difference is on all of that. And we're gonna throw in, or it's not us, but detectees.com, our buddies over there, Ken and Mark Guthrie, whoever wins this, they're gonna throw in a hoodie. And that is a great prize in and of itself, isn't it?
It really is. And, truth be known, I could do without the pinpointer, but that hoodie, man, I've been wearing mine, and then, just about wore the green off of it. So, but it's worked out great.
I've been wearing mine and been filming a little bit in it and everything, and it's warm. I got out yesterday for a while, and it warmed up here. But I had it on, and it's not too hot. I like the way it is. I've got the green one, and I tell you what, guys, if you've got one of the Relics Radio T-shirts from detectees.com, if you've got some of the early ones, that was a limited edition. The new ones that are coming out now are different on the back, and that difference is that the Kentucky Tennessee is not solid black. Ohio Relic Hunter said he wore his out in the sun, and the sun shined on his back, and when he took it off, he had a tattoo of Kentucky Tennessee.
Yeah. You ever thought about a tattoo, Seven?
No.
Yeah, me either.
No, I care too much for my body. But yeah, Bill Marsh is the one that got that done. So all of the new Relics Radio T-shirts are going to have the Kentucky Tennessee outline, and I think that's a great move. I had kind of toyed with that a little bit before I sent all the graphic stuff in, and there's Josh Kimmel has jumped on as well. He's got a chance to win this pinpointer. I tell you what I'm going to try, Jeff, and, we're just a couple of rednecks. But I don't know if I can make it work or not. I'm going to try to go live on Facebook whenever I do the random number draw. You think that'll work?
Well, if anybody could get it to work, I believe you can. Now, you are appropriate, right? You're in your pajamas and all that, right?
I'm not going to show you what I'm in right now and what I look like.
Okay, good. I was worried there for a minute. We didn't want to scare nobody off.
No, but yeah, I'm looking forward to giving that away. And as most of you know, I pre-record most of my videos and get them in the can and actually upload them and schedule a time for them to come out. And I've kind of had to watch just a little bit, because I've been putting at the end of it. Now, be sure, that you go to the Relics Radio Facebook group page and put a picture of yourself with your Relics Radio T-shirt. And, we're going to give you a number. And then on Thanksgiving night, we're going to draw that number. And this latest video, well, the video that will come out on Tuesday, I actually put all the shirt stuff in there and then had to go back and redo it, Old man. That's what the problem is. I'm just getting old, Jeff.
Getting old. Well, I guess the way everybody talks, you've been old for a while, so I can't blame you, I guess. It just happens. So,
yeah.
And I hope it happens to me, too. I hope I get old someday.
Well, if I'd have known I was going to live this long, I'd have took better care of my body. I'll just tell you that.
Well, I don't. See, it doesn't work in the way we work here in the South. I don't think you can take care of your body too good. So.
Yeah, I've worked in my life, and I'm in relatively good health, I guess, since I've got this old. I hadn't been to the doctor in a number of years, probably, and you guys wouldn't believe me, so I'm not even going to tell you how long it's been since I've been to a doctor. If death gets me, it'll just overtake me, I guess.
That's right. And I was thinking the other day, of course, I'm not getting any younger. And then, of course, you're old as the hills. And I believe we're the only ones in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky that has all our teeth left, right?
Oh, well, you can speak for yourself on that one there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I kidded around on the no Tifa deal, the Antifa that we hear about on the news quite a bit and everything. I said, there ain't no Antifa here. We're all no Tifa. You know, I said, if you're going to get a full set of teeth, you're going to have a group shot of at least 15, 16 rednecks to get to a full set of teeth. You know what I think would be good? We're going to give one of these shirts away, and this whole contest is situated around detectees. I think it would be good if Ken Guthrie would call in, don't you, since we don't have a guest tonight, and talk with us for a little bit?
I believe it would. If you don't mind, Ken, could you do that? And but, I mean, it'd be great to talk to you either way. So,
yeah, just call in and let us know. We'll talk about the shirts. We'll talk about the shirt company, and I'm trying to pull up my chat here, not the chat on the show. Me and Jeff have our own secret chat on Skype here, so we can say anything we want to about you guys, and you have no clue what we're saying. But yeah, Ken, call us and we'll talk about it. But Jeff, we've had a great year as far as the podcast goes, haven't we?
We have, and it was funny when we first started. I said a lot on the show that I didn't even know what a podcast was. Now I'm just joking. Of course, I listen to Relic Roundup all the time and a couple of the old podcasts. But when Seven said something about starting a podcast, I was like, man, I said, that doesn't sound too bad. And then, of course, I didn't really know how it was going to go. Of course, I'm kind of a secretive guy. I'm kind of off to myself. I just like to, I don't really like to talk on the radio too much, if you know what I mean. But anyway, we started doing that, and then I really enjoyed it. And then we have had a great year. We've had a lot of guests and everything, and part of that is the guys that have decided to sponsor us, and we got Ken on the line. What's going on tonight, Ken?
Oh, we're having a good time here in Georgia. No complaints.
Have y'all had turkey today?
No, sir. I didn't get home till about 6:30 last night, and I told the wife last week, I said, I think we're going to do prime rib for Thanksgiving, because I usually do the cooking.
Yeah.
And so we had prime rib and mashed potatoes, a little au jus, some green beans, a salad, and then some sweet potato pie.
It wasn't no romaine lettuce, was it, in that salad?
No, sir, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. None of that stuff.
It sounds like I was in the wrong house.
I was, too. Well, we had ham. We had ham and we had turkey and everything. Y'all have had a good year, too, haven't you, Ken, with shirts?
We've been very blessed. We try to put out a shirt that's a fair price and a good product, and if anybody's had anything wrong with theirs, we've replaced it immediately. But you guys have been a big part of that, advertising for us, and it's fun. I enjoy it. It's simple sales, but it's trying to come up with some different ideas and things to put on shirts and having some fun with them. When somebody orders some, I try to send them, if they have a nice order in there, try to send them something a little extra. Sometimes I'll surprise somebody with one. And God's been good to me, so I feel like you got to pass it on sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we've been very blessed this year.
Well, that's great. Which one works the hardest, you or Mark?
Well, Mark's the brains behind it. Like I said, he's the brains on production. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, so yeah.
when it comes to you in that manila envelope or whatever envelope I might have on hand, it's coming from me. But Mark's the one who does all the website stuff. We've actually been able to pick up about 4 different YouTube channels that people come to us, want us to do their shirts, and that was through Relics Radio. I know Hound Dog Detecting saw it, and then had about 3 guys who watched his channel saw it and gave us a call. And I think on our website now you can pick up about 4 different YouTube channels or guys who broadcast that are doing their shirts. So it's growing. It's not, we're not leaps and bounds, not ready to retire yet, but you got to start somewhere, and everybody's been a part of that. And we certainly sincerely appreciate anybody who's bought a shirt and anybody who's put us out there and advertised for us.
And, we were talking tonight, toward the end of the show, we're going to give away the pinpointer to somebody, and then you guys are going to throw in a hoodie, aren't you?
Yes, sir, we sure are. I know it's getting cold, and those hoodies are comfortable. That's what I like about them. You can pull your sleeves up if you want to. You can put your hood on if you need to, but they're not too hot, not too cold. just about right. And everybody who's had one seems to love them. And that's when I'm out and about, I don't want to wear a big jacket. You get so bulky, and you get that thing dirty, and you can't wash it right. With a hoodie, if you get it dirty, heck, you just throw it in the you could throw it in the dishwasher, throw it in the washing machine, but put it in the washing machine and wash it, and put it back on and go.
Yeah,
it's not a huge investment. I just try to get one that's going to hold up well for people, and it's been real good. The response to it has been very positive.
Well,
a lot of the shirts that we've seen, a lot of people that bought them, it's come with some good mojo too, and I know it's helped me a lot. Now, it may just be all in their heads, but I mean, I've found some good relics, and I've lucky enough harvest some good deer with it on. So,
well, I'm not going to say they don't work. They seem to be proven.
Hey, Matt Purdue. Yeah, Matt Purdue just came in. We're on top of things, ain't we, Jeff, here tonight? We were able to, and my chat is fixing to lock up on this one screen right here. But I got smart, guys. I've got another computer going that's just got the chat, and it doesn't lock up, and I'm logged in as Digging with 7. So I play around with the other shows sometimes. Sometimes I'll make a comment on my Relics Radio Spreaker app, and then I'll make a comment on the Digging with 7. So it looks like that there's two different people in there, and they're trying to figure out, is that Tennessee Jeff on the other one? And then they'll look, no, there's Tennessee. What's going on?
And I see we got Craig in the house now. So.
Got who?
Craig.
Okay. I missed that one there in a big time of talking. We've got 40 people tonight that have sent in a picture of themselves with a Relics Radio T-shirt. And you guys don't know what that means to us, to send your picture in. And I'm sure that you guys y'all like it too, to be able to look at them, don't you? People wearing them from all over the world now.
That's it. Chris Cook, he put on there, he was in Australia. We didn't have any way to send one to him, so I sent Chris a message, and he sent back, and we were able to work out something where he could get one at the best price I could. Shipping, you just can't get past that.
Yeah.
But we were able to work him out a deal, and if there's somebody who's in a well, I'm gonna say a foreign land, but who's not in the United States, wants to get a shirt, we'll work out a deal. We just want to get shirts out there. I was able to get Chris one for a discounted price, just so that to where he could afford it, and to make it, where he could have one. And I was excited about it. I told you 2 or 3 times, hey, we got one in Australia. I think it's awesome. So if we have somebody out there listening, shoot us a PM. We'll make it work. We'll get them a shirt.
That's right.
We'll make it happen.
Whatever we have to do. And I started to put on this that the only way that I would mail this pinpointer and stuff out if you were in the lower 48, and I decided not to do that. Although I tell you what, I did give a pinpointer away, and it went to one of the third world countries, and they never got it. And I'm still in negotiations with the Postal Service to either get my money and send that guy the money for it through PayPal or something. But there's some of those countries that I'm just not going to try to mail to. But I don't think, and I hate to say it, but, if Chris won tonight, now you guys, this is not rigged, because I was telling Jeff, I said, well, there's one thing about it. Nobody can say, well, they gave it to one of their friends, because we got 40 people on here, and every one of them is our friend.
That's right. They sure are.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. But, if Chris wins it, we'll work out something other, and you'll get it. But like I said, I'm going to try a live Facebook whenever we do that, and we're going to do that in the last segment of the show, however long that the show goes. But I got something to ask you, Ken, since we've got you live here on the show. What did you think when you first heard the Manatee Crawl commercial?
Oh, the Manatee.
Yeah, your detectees commercial that we run. What did you think when you first heard it?
Did we lose him?
I knocked him off the air.
I guess that's what he thought about it. He's laughing so hard he dropped his phone.
He may be. And while we're waiting for him to come back on, I've still got him here, still got him showing on the screen, but I'm not getting any audio. I don't know, his phone might have died or something. It don't matter. While he's gone, let's just go ahead and play the commercial.
Hey, Seven, we's looking good in our new Relics Radio T-shirts.
Yeah, Ken and Mark Guthrie of detectees.com done brung them to us.
Yep. And they makes other shirts, too.
Yeah, boy. Detectees.com can handle tees for your club, hunt, or any other promotion folks may have.
They even got the Wide Pride shirts.
Yeah, them boys does the manatee crawl.
Yeah, scooting on their bellies.
That's what I said. The manatee crawl.
Looks like slugs eating jelly.
So whether you hunt horizontal or vertical, tell the folks where they need to go, TJ.
www.detectees.com.
And you know what? I feel sorry for Missouri Mike, because he has to hunt with that guy every day. The voice on that commercial is Plugmaster Ford, Jeff Ford. He has done all of those commercials. He said, I'm trying, guys. Give me the number again.
I put it in the comment section.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Jeff,
It's
I mean,
270-495-0315. Yeah, it's hilarious what he does, and well, it's knocked Ken plumb off the air, you know.
Yeah, we've had the pleasure to hunt with Jeff a few times at DIV, and of course him and Wes, they've come to the house and hunted, and I mean he's a great dude. He really is, and funny to be around. I mean, you could just imagine all the voices he can talk like that, and I mean it's just amazing how the guy is.
3776. Is this you, Ken?
It is. I called from my other phone. My other phone just died on me. It just restarted. It rebooted itself. So we're going to give it up. I went looking for one tonight. The Best Buy was so busy. Well, I dropped my phone the other day and it cracked on me. And it's a Samsung Galaxy 7. And the crazy thing is, I just got done paying for it on the payment plan with Verizon. Y'all know how that goes. These phones aren't cheap anymore. And but I'm calling you from my work phone, so now you got that number. So now there's no way to escape you if you try to get a hold of me. But yeah, it's me. I'm back. But going back to your commercial, no, I played it, and I heard it, and I laughed. The slugs eating jelly is what got me. I mean, the manatee crawl was great, but slugs eating jelly just absolutely fell on the floor. And I played it for the wife. I said, listen to this, listen to this. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And like, you know, but I said, hey, the thing is, they're going to remember that commercial. You're going to hear that, and you're going to remember it. And, of course, in any chat we're in somewhere, most time a slug eating jelly will come up somewhere. So it's done its job. It's like a jingle you can't get out of your head.
I know.
So it was.
It's just like Alka-Seltzer, you know, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. You remember that, you know. And I heard that whenever I was a kid. So, yeah, we put detectees on the map with that commercial. There's no doubt. And I don't know where I came up with the slugs eating jelly. Like I told you guys, that all came to me about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I keep a pad and pencil close by because I get those inspirations every once in a while. And I got up and I wrote it down, or I would forget it, you know. And then I contacted Jeff Ford and I said, let's try to put this into a commercial. And Jeff had some input in it. And we finally got something that both of us were tickled with. And well, I tell you what, Ohio Relic Hunter said it one time. He said it's the only reason I listen to their show, just to see, hear the commercial.
I could see that'd make a good Super Bowl commercial, wouldn't it?
It would. Huh? I don't know why we don't get it on there.
Yeah, I'm sure they do it for free.
Yeah.
And Bill Hay says, like Wendy's, where's the beef? And my youngest grandson, Reese, we were riding in the car and we asked him, I said, we was going to stop in a fast food and get something, and said, what do you want to eat? And he said, well, what are you thinking? And I said, well, there's McDonald's, there's Wendy's. I said, there's Arby's. And he said, with Arby's, we've got the meat. And, he got that off of a commercial.
That's it. Like I said, I think it's fantastic. It's done. There's nothing else. It gets it in your mind, and that's what it's meant to do. And it's been nothing but a blessing for us, and it's been a great partnership. It's been really good for us, and I enjoy being your partners. You got a great show. You guys are professional, great ambassadors for the hobby, and we couldn't be more excited to be a partner with you.
Yeah.
Well, it's our honor. I mean, it really is. So.
It is our honor. Chris Cook, I think, was trying to, he may have been trying to send a message here. I don't know. Something came up. He said, I will ring in for the show. Hey, Chris, all you got to do is just go to the Relics Radio on Skype and hit the little phone thing up there, and it will come in. And if we're in the middle of a conversation, guys, when you call in, and we won't say hello, but you will have the show on then. Be sure and turn your speakers down, because we're on at least a 10-second delay, I think. And if you can't get in, I'll tell you what, you put a message on here, and I will add you to the show. I can do that as well. But yeah, Ken, it's been wonderful for us. We've had a great time with it, and we're looking forward to the future. I've got some other ideas for another commercial, but nothing is that good, and that I'm not tired of that one yet. And I can just imagine what your wife said.
Oh, she just looked at me like I was crazy. I played with my daughter, and my daughter loved it. That like my wife, of course, my brother and we're twins. My wife is a twin as well. And her twin sister listened to it, and she thought it was funny, and I've had some family listen to it, and it's just been a great commercial. I couldn't be happier. So, no, I'm not tired of it by any means. It's
well, let me tell you,
it's still funny.
Let me tell you a story about it. Whenever Debbie with Mind Lab, right before the Chattanooga show, in fact, the day before the Chattanooga show, she came down and she hunted with Heath Jones and Scott Duncan and some of those guys, maybe Jeff Gibbs or some of them, I don't know. But anyway, I had sent the commercial to, I'd sent it to Heath and them just to have them listen to it and tell me what they thought and everything. And you know how Scott Duncan, you saw him at the Relic show there in Chattanooga. Anytime that any of us were live, Scott was out front or, making faces at everybody, or he'd come in behind us and take his cap and put it over our eyes or he's just a trickster, just constantly. And Debbie said all day long, said that Scott had that on his phone, and he played that commercial. She said, I bet I've heard that commercial 50 times today.
That's a great commercial to hear. And then, of course, it reminds you of the Peyton Manning commercial, Nationwide is on your side. And, of course, once he hums that on the commercial, then it gets stuck in your head. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it does. Hey, Ken, have you guys got out and hunted any?
Right now, for me, it's wrestling season. I got out of volleyball season and had a couple of weeks, and we just moved into a house 2 weeks ago. So for me, it was house hunting, house looking, packing, moving, and then I have wrestling tournaments. This weekend I don't have one, so now it's try to finish unpacking, get everything set up in the house. But from next week until about the second week in February, I've got a wrestling tournament every weekend.
Man, I didn't know you wrestled.
Well, I go there and make T-shirts.
Oh, okay. You don't go there and I thought you went there and wrestled.
Yeah.
I was scared to death to hunt with you. Afraid I'd dig something that you wanted and you'd body slam me.
No.
I know you are a big old boy. You and your brother both.
Well, we did wrestle in high school, but that was a couple pounds ago. It would be a manatee crawl to get me off the mat. But no, we do wrestling tournaments, and that's what we've done for 10, 15 years. And this weekend, I've got warm-up to do for a wrestling team. I've got warm-up to do for a basketball team. I've got I mean, it's been very, I say blessed, because you don't know what tomorrow holds, and you want to get what you can when you can. And it's, the wrestling tournaments, I enjoy it. We go there, watch the kids wrestle, and of course we sell T-shirts and get to meet lots of folks. And I'll wear my Detect T-shirt there, or anything about metal detecting. Hopefully somebody's going to ask me one day, hey, what's that about? And then maybe give permission. I'm always looking for permission. So no, I was talking to Mark yesterday. We're going to try to maybe catch up with you guys in late February, early March. We'll have a break of about 2 to 3 months there until things get kind of crazy or too hot. We'd love to try to get with you guys and hunt. And he's got some permissions there in Middle Tennessee to go check out some caves and some different things. Him being a teacher, he knows all kinds of people.
Yeah, I know.
Some great connections.
I hunted on one of his sites this summer, and it panned out pretty good for us. And so I called him and I said, "You never guess where I'm at?" "Where?" I told him where. He said, "That's my site." I said, "I know." And then he went to laughing. He said, "No, I told him, take you over there." But it was Civil War related. I mean, they camped there or stayed there some because we found some Civil War bullets and stuff. So, yeah, okay. I look forward to getting together with both of you and with Heath and Scott. We've never hunted with them. I mean, I know them. And while we're talking about that, guys, the American Digger South Carolina Low Country Civil War Show Artifact and sale is going to be January the 5th and 6th. And that's going to be at the Omar Shrine Temple in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. It's just across the bridge from Charleston. And our plan is to do what we did at the Chattanooga show, is to go down there and have 3 live shows, which will be Relics Radio, it'll be American Digger, Relic Roundup, and it'll be History Seekers. And anybody else that wants to come to that show, if you come, we'll engineer your show as well. And, any of you guys, All Metal Mode or Josh, you want to come, Hardcore, any of you guys come, I'll bring the equipment, engineer the show, we'll put you on live. And I just had a ball doing that. And then Ken and Mark were set up next to us, and that was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Ken?
Oh, man.
Oh, we had a good time, and I wish we could make it in Charleston, but I know we both had tournaments that day. We got wrestling tournaments we committed to, and I just not going to be able to make it to that one. But I'm looking forward to the one again in Ringgold, when it comes back around in July.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that they had put that on the website that's going to be in late July this year. Yeah, that's not a bad drive for us. Now, the South Carolina show is going to be an 8-hour drive. That's like going back to digging in Virginia.
Yeah, it really is. I think we ought to find us a spot, do our show one day and hunt the next day, or vice versa. So, and then we might be able to find somewhere to hunt. Maybe knock on some doors.
Yeah, or hook up with Heath and Scott and Butch and some of those guys over that way, and find out and see what we can find. Hey, Ken King was asking who we got on the line. That's Ken Guthrie with detectees.com is who we're talking to. And he said, great looking family today. Well, I appreciate that. Had a picture of me and Raina, and our 11 grandchildren, and then had a picture of the whole outlaw bunch. So it's a great big family. And when we go on vacation, and we went to Lambert's. You ever been to Lambert's, Jeff?
No, I've never been there.
Well, it's the famous. You know what I'm talking about, Ken? It's a famous place where they throw the rolls. And we went in there, and I told him, I said, wondering how long it would be before we could get a table, And this is July 4th week, and they're just lined up everywhere, And he said, how many's in your party? And I said, 21. He said, December.
Oh, that's the one where they put the hat on you and they write stuff on it?
No, they throw rolls at you.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I've ever been that one.
Oh, man, it's just good old country cooking is all it is. But their unique thing is that they throw the rolls and everything,
They do, and if you ever get a chance to go, and if you like bacon, get you some hog jaw from Lambert's.
Okay.
It's just
I like it.
hot dog. Oh my goodness!
I've never had that. And Chris Heimsoff said that Lambert started in Missouri, so we can
it did.
We can blame that on Missouri. Now you guys know that the pool tabs started in Ohio, don't you? Did y'all see my history clip? Well, mine and Bill Marsh, we collaborated on that. The pool tabs started in Ohio, so we can blame them for that.
Well, that's a good place to blame it on.
Hey, Ken,
all the Mark instead of sending to Mark Hoover. Then we start sending the bill.
That's what we ought to do. Mark Hoover and them are collecting those, and their club is doing something with that. So that's what they're trying to do.
Okay.
I don't see Chris Cook on here anymore. I don't know if he's still trying to hook up. Hey, Chris, put something in the chat if you're still there.
Dave Miller's in the house now.
Oh, Dave Miller. Dave Miller is sending something for the show. He's sending another computer, and we'll probably be running the music and stuff on it. Right now I've got my phone tied up doing that. He reached out to me, and he's a great guy. He came up and hunted, and I just thank the world of him and his buddy Mike and his boy, and they're just great people. So looking forward to getting that in and putting it in the with all this equipment here. Just something else to look at, ain't it, Jeff?
It really is. You're going to have a bigger table.
Or
a bigger studio.
I've got
you've got your studio full right now, and then you're going to have to get a bigger studio. I guess we'll just have to build a shop out back and then put everything in there.
I would really like to build something just exclusively for a studio. I call it in the loft, but I'm on the third floor of the house here, and that's all it is. It's just the studio. But I really do. I need a bigger place, and I'd like for things to be arranged a little bit different. You get kind of used to how things are, where you can kind of see everything, where I don't have to constantly turn my head back and forth. But
that's right. And then I kind of worry about you sometimes. You're getting a little bit older, and then if you was to slip off that top step, you'd roll till next week. So.
They are steep. There's no doubt about it. Hey, Ken, we don't want to keep you. I wanted to have you call in. I'm sure that you're going to stick around and listen to the show and pick up the winner here in a moment. But we appreciate everything that you guys have done for us. Y'all have helped us a lot.
Well, no, we certainly appreciate it. I was going to say, if you want to, I know we got some dedicated listeners on here because either that or they don't like family. I'm not sure which one it is. Some folks trying to get away from the family. But I got so many other rooms, so I understand how that goes. But we'd love to get away a couple T-shirts if you don't mind. Well, I'd like to.
Okay. Well,
I've got a number in my head, and I'm gonna text it to Jeff. I've texted you a couple times. I don't think you're getting them, but I'm gonna text it to Jeff.
No, all right, I got it.
And if folks, the first one to get that numbers, we'll go 1 through 50 to make it easy. We won't go. There's a lot of numbers.
Yep.
I'm saying that 1 through 100 go, but if folks start putting it in there, the first one to get it, then we'll give them one. And Jeff, if we'll, I'll give a hint. The first number is 2 numbers.
Yeah. All right. On your march, get set, go.
Yep.
Hey, look at there, man! They're just flying in already. Now, guys, I don't know the number, and those guys are watching it over on their end there, and hopefully they will.
We're trying.
We're trying.
Yeah, it goes fast. It really does.
Yeah.
Somebody was one off just a minute ago.
Yeah, I seen that. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, and I'm just like a blind squirrel looking at them. I have no idea.
I can tell you real quick. It happens to be my birthday.
Happens to be your birthday. The day of your birthday? Now everybody's going to your Facebook page and trying to find out what your birthday is.
I'll make it easier for them. It's Mark's birthday too.
While you guys are doing that, there was a lady at church. Her and her husband both had the same birthday.
Okay,
Okay, you got it?
One right here.
I got it right there. Everybody stop.
All right. Stop putting in the numbers. Suspense. Y'all let me tell my story, and then we're going to get the number, okay? This man and woman, and they were up in their 70s, I guess, at the time. Anyway, we announced their birthday, and they had the same birthday. And so I announced it, I said, she's got a birthday today. And I said, he's got a birthday. I said, it's the most amazing thing, that they both have the same birthday. But I said, that it doesn't stop there. I said, they have got the same anniversary as well. And everybody got tickled at that. Okay, so, what was the number?
Drum roll. You want to go ahead again?
We really doing the Christmas vacation, ain't we? What is it?
The number is 20. The number is 25.
Paul Forsay.
Paul Forsay. Okay. Paul Forsay. Send us something in, and you can either send it in to diggingwith7@gmail.com. or put it on the Facebook page. You can message us on the Facebook page. That's the easiest way. Or if you're friends with Ken Guthrie.
Paul, you can PM me. Just shoot me a PM, and we'll get that to you. And I think the one after that was actually Bill Hayes, if I'm correct. So we'll give Bill a shirt, too. Bill, if you'll PM me your address, we're going to send you one as well. We'll make sure both of you guys get one. Okay, so both of them had the same number then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill was the second one to get it, I can see.
Okay.
If I got it wrong, then they were going so fast, but I think it was Paul, then Bill. So we're going to take care of both of those guys. If you've already got a Relics Radio T-shirt, you want something different, just tell me what you want. If you don't have one, then we're going to send you out a Relics Radio. Just let me know if you like it in green or if you want it in gray, and I'll get it out there. It'll probably be Monday before I get it out there, but we'll get it to you.
Hey, that's just great. I tell you what, you guys continue to amaze me, all that you do for our show. Hey, we got another caller on the line, and he's been holding for a little bit. Josh Kimmel, what's going on tonight, Josh?
Hey, guys, I just wanted to call in and mention a couple of things. But first off, I want to wish you and all the listeners and Ken a happy Thanksgiving.
And to you too, Josh.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I figured I hated to kind of interrupt, but I just had to kind of interject a little bit on the whole pull tab thing.
Okay.
Well, that whole thing with Mark getting those just solitary pull tabs here and there. I hate to say it, but somebody's got to take the blame. I kind of started that fad.
So he can blame you then.
Yeah. So the pull tab thing really is in Ohio in more ways than one.
I didn't. If I'd have known that in my history clip, I could have included that. That would have been a little bit more for people to.
And I can't recall now, but I'm sure you know that the fella who invented the pull tab is actually resting in Ohio.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a better man. I shouldn't have said that, but it couldn't have happened to a better. I'm looking back through my notes right here. I'm going to get that guy's name for everybody. If I can.
Yeah, the name escapes me right offhand.
It does me too. And if
you guys look how he changed the world, and I mean, once he come out with a pull tab, look, if he got $1 for every pull tab that was made, I mean, you can just imagine.
It happened in Dayton, Ohio, in 1959, and the guy's name was Ermal Fraze. And I'll tell you something.
Right.
The only picture that I could find of Ermal Fraze, he was grinning like a possum eating sardines, and it was almost like he was taunting all of the metal detectors. In fact, somebody made a comment on the video, said, "Just look at him and that smirky little smile that he's got after we're digging up all these pull tabs." Trivia question:
Right.
trivia question. Put it in the chat if you know it. Now, we're not going to give you anything, but just what was the inspiration for Ermal Frey's making the pull tab? What happened to him that caused him to get the inspiration to make a pull tab? And you put that in. We'll see if anybody gets that real quick.
I could chime in on that, but we'll see what the listeners say.
Do you know, Josh?
It seems to be vaguely ringing a bell with me, but like I said, let's see what they say first. I could be wrong.
And Dennis said he's like a slug-eating jelly.
Well, you see what that photo doesn't show or convey is the maniacal laughter, because he's going, hey, look at this. That was a game changer for detecting, wasn't it? I fixed them all, didn't I?
Yeah, and Madison Main and Matt Purdue both got it, and Roland got it, and Bill Hayes got it. Everybody's got it now. This guy went on a family picnic, took, I guess, a 6-pack of beer with him, forgot the beer opener, what people back in the day, whenever I was a kid, they called it a church key, and he opened all those beer cans on the bumper of his car. And he got the idea then to, so you learned it first here on Relics Radio, if you didn't learn it first on Digging with Seven, in the history clips that I do. But who finally won the shirts again, Ken?
I know. I'm sorry, I had you on mute. I'm sorry. It's Paul Forsay and Bill Hayes.
Okay, both great guys. And like I told you at the start, we're going to give. Somebody's going to say, "Well, they're only giving shirts to their friends." Everybody on here tonight is our friend. Everybody on this 40 list of people that had shirts, you're our friend. And like I said, I'm gonna try to make this as painless as possible. I'm going to shoot a live Facebook that will be on Relics Radio. Hopefully, it'll be on Relics Radio page live whenever we do the random number draw. But hey, guys, we've run just a little bit over. Y'all hang on. Let me run this commercial, and we'll be right back. If your passion is metal detecting, then you know how much your success is based on the equipment you use. Let my buddy Tim Henderson of Murray Branch Outdoors in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, help you with that. Tim is an authorized dealer of Garrett, XP Deus, and Macro detectors and supplies, and he is now an authorized dealer for MineLab. So if you're looking to get your hands on one of the new Equinox 600 or 800, then Tim's your guy. Murray Branch Outdoors is not only competitive in their prices, but the service after the sale is second to none. Tim not only sells detectors, he uses them, and so he can answer any question that you might have. Murray Branch Outdoors also deals in used detectors, and he'll take your old detector in on trade when you decide to upgrade. So give Tim Henderson of Murray Branch Outdoors a call at 615-948-4611, and be sure and tell him that Relics Radio sent you. And Tim Henderson is a good guy. He does have a lot of products, and he will stand behind all the products that he sells. And he's quick on the gun, too. I don't know if you saw it, Ken, but he said there needs to be a shirt. Ermal is not my friend.
I think, definitely Ermal's, I don't think he's anybody's friend. He's caused a lot of heartache for a lot of us.
Yeah, and you need to put a big pull tab on there. Ermal Frey. Hey, guys, Australia is in the house. What's going on, Chris Cook?
How you going, Loy?
Doing great.
I'll give you guys a call and just happy Thanksgiving to all you guys over there. We don't actually have it over in Australia, but I thought I'd just jump in and give you guys a call and, give you a happy Thanksgiving for you today. And you've obviously a bit later in the afternoon where you guys are, but what is it here? It's 12 to 1 on the Friday.
Man, what about that? We appreciate
in the future here.
Yeah, of course. I guess you're kind of lucky not to have Thanksgiving right now. Of course, everybody in America, they're just laid back, just full of turkey and ham, and can barely move. So,
we
have the closest thing we have to Black Friday, we have our Black Friday sales here as well. It's in our retail sort of environment, so we still have the shopping experience as well. Not as much as what America does, but we do have it over here. I suppose we start to inherit things from you guys with Halloween and now the Black Friday sales, and you never know, in the future we might have the Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah, and that was the follow-up question that I was going to ask you or tell you, that we have our Thanksgiving, and then the day after is always Black Friday, and I was wanting to know if y'all had a Black Friday. Now, I tell you what, that's just wrong, guys. Here in Australia, they've got Black Friday, they're selling everything, but they don't have a Thanksgiving where these guys can get off work and have turkey and ham and dressing and all that stuff. That's just not right.
It's not. And then the only thing about Black Friday sales is, my stepdaughter's at somewhere in Nashville now shopping. And here in America, it gets bad. If you're standing at the door when they open the doors, you better move because somebody's going to run over you. And actually, they have fist fights of people trying to get this in there to get the best deal. Now, I mean, it's crazy. It's madness.
That sounds like our Boxing Day sales we have here. So the day after Christmas, we call Boxing Day. The crazy sales happen, but we don't have the Black Friday sales into that degree. I work for I don't know if you ever heard of Ryobi Power Tools. I work for them, and we have 3 products available for Black Friday today, and they're selling, but they're not rushing through the door. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I had an Ryobi a cordless drill, and it was a great drill. So.
I've still got a Ryobi drill. It's one of my favorite drills that y'all make good products. So there's no doubt about it. And they make the mine labs over there, don't they?
Don't think so. No, the mine labs in Australia. You mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I actually own the Equinox 800 and absolutely love it. Wouldn't be the same without it. I started off when I first started detecting. I started off with a Xterra 705. And when the Equinox came out, I jumped on it because I wanted the ability. I live about 15, 20 minutes from the beach, and I'm also close to, within about half an hour from what you guys could call the woods, we call the bush, I guess. And so I've got the best of everything, and I also travel for work. So you probably seen a few of my posts on Facebook where I go out after work and have a bit of a quick hunt. That's usually in regional Victoria, which is out probably from Melbourne. So I'm in the city of Melbourne down south, and it probably takes me I can drive up to 6 hours every 2 weeks on one day just to do some work for what I do. And after work, I might get up for an hour in a park and just have a bit of a hunt around. But lately, with listening to your archives and also listening to the live shows now that I've worked out what time of the day it's on, I've been using the information. You talk a lot about Union sites and Confederate camps and so forth. We haven't got that over here, but I've been using the information you guys use to find your finds and locations and so forth. I've been actually using similar to find me older relics and me older coins. And I've got a homestead close to home, and it's been shut to the public for a few years now because it's a bit run down. But that's where I've been finding all my old stuff. So I've been finding old buttons and little buttons that go into your hand tools, like your wooden hand tools from back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And my oldest coins I found in the last, say, month funnily enough, I found 2 of them now, and that's a 1797 cartwheel penny. And for us in Australia, that's almost like a bucket lister because Australia wasn't really settled until 1888. So that's pretty awesome.
It really is. Do you hunt the gold fields any?
So you probably heard of the Golden Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about an hour and a half from there, but I haven't given it a go yet, mainly because I guess it's a whole different ball game. Gold, and you look at relic and coin hunting versus gold, and gold is like you might go out there for you could be days, and you might be lucky to find stuff, and then you go out. Pretty much when I go out and I go looking for coins or relics, I'm not guaranteed to find something, but if I don't find something common and more modern, I'll find something older. But the gold is, I'm yet to have a crack at it because I'm just, it's a whole new ball game. You got to learn the settings of the gold part on the Equinox, and I haven't really played around with that yet. I've just really been playing around with Park 1, Park 2, and the beach modes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and what is your soil condition there in Australia? Is it mineralized?
In the goldfields it is. So in the Golden Triangle, it's a lot of hot rocks. I don't know if you know what they are over there, but a lot of hot rocks, a lot of mineralised soil, and with a normal VLF detector, they don't tend to do too well in the goldfields for the simple reason that they'll just keep on ringing off its head, where a lot of people use PI detectors up in the goldfields and do quite well. But a lot of people up there use the GPXs and so forth, and it's probably not my sort of category to be able to spend that sort of money to be able to buy that. But I found the Equinox really good in the sand, in the wet sand and the black sand at the beach. So I'm within about 10-15 minutes from the beach, and I can go down to the beach and go in the water. I go up to about a bit higher than waist deep, and with the Equinox, no problem at all. And I have no problem with any interference or back noise with the Equinox whatsoever. Then I can go from the beach, like the old homestead I was talking about before. The old homestead actually is on the beach, so we've got the beauty of having a bit of I can use it in Park 1, for example, and then go out to the beach, and I can use it in Beach 1 or Beach 2 mode, and I can go into the water. So I was actually in the water a couple of weeks ago there, and I didn't stay in there long because I had a big stingray within about 2 feet of me watching what I was doing, and put the detector on top of its head, and then it decided to turn around and actually go the other way. So,
man, what you guys have a lot of great white sharks too, don't you?
Not in Victoria. So if you look on Google Maps, you'll sort of see where I am in Melbourne, but it's more South Australia and off the coast of WA, which is Western Australia. We get great whites here, but not in a big way. So I'm not too worried when I'm out in the water. I don't go underwater with a scuba kit or a snorkeling or anything like that. There is a guy in Australia that does that with the Equinox. He does really well. My main hunting areas are usually mainly park sort of environments, or if I can get a permission, like a homestead or an old house, something like that, I usually hit them up as well. But the ability to be able to go to the beach or go to out the bush and hunt wherever I want, it's actually quite good because the Equinox provides all that, and it's only within. If I was to look around from where I am in Melbourne, it's probably within 2 hours of home. I've got all those options, including the goldfields as well.
That's amazing, I tell you. What kind of headphones are you using on your Equinox?
You'll laugh. I don't actually use headphones on mine.
We don't either.
I usually use. Yeah, I just like the open speaker. I prefer that. I've just recently put a carbon shaft on my Equinox to make it a little bit lighter. And previous to that, I had the neoprene cover over my whole shaft to protect it. But I also had the box covered with a protective cover, but it was blocking a lot of the sound. So I removed that, knowing it won't matter if it gets wet because I hose it down anyway if I've been in the salt water. But I just use a speaker and I put up to about volume 23, 24. If there's a lot of people around looking at me, I've turned down to 22 just because I'm probably a little bit more paranoid about what people think I'm doing.
Yeah, I tell you what we've done here, and you may have heard us speak about it on the show, whether we're using our Equinox or AT Pro. Now, with the GPX, we have to use headphones, but with our other machines, me and Jeff, we like to just leave them open, and run on speakers because I can tell the debris field and how the signals are sounding where he's at, and he can tell on my side. It gives us a better idea of, the size of the site, the debris field and everything. But we were back in a holler one time, and those AT Pros just chirping away, and we called a flock of turkeys off the hill that came. And Jeff actually called a coyote within probably, 20, 30 feet of you, Jeff?
Yeah, every bit of it. It heard the squeaking of the AT Pro, and I guess it thought it was a wounded rabbit or something, and it come down there to investigate. And then, of course, I didn't have a sidearm with me or anything, and I was like, 7. And then it finally realized that I wasn't no rabbit, so it turned around and took off running. So
yeah, I don't know.
It's really amazing, actually, how the Equinox finds like some of the things it picks up, like silver coins. It just rings off. It just rings really loud. And we've also got $1 and $2 coins here, and they ring quite loud as well. They ring up as a 21 or a 22 on the VDI screen, so they're really obvious. And I usually discriminate anything below, say, 5 or 4. I tend to turn off, and I've owned it for quite a while now. It's probably 6-7 months, and as I've got to know the machine, and with the help of the podcast as well, like I listen to a few of them, and it definitely gives you a lot of help, even though you're in a totally different country. It helps quite a lot. So I think about when I first started using it, I was using Park 1, but I was discriminating anything below 17 and below would get notched out. So that meant I wouldn't get pull tabs, wouldn't get a lot of the ring pulls and so forth as well. But what I was missing, people were saying you're missing out on gold rings and you're missing out on some of those lower targets that might be something good. And as I started thinking about more about relics and so forth, and some of them can ring quite low as well, I thought slowly but surely I've notched it all. I've started opening the notches back up. I think I'm open from about 6 now, right up to the higher tone, I think 40 or whatever it is. But it's really a learning curve, learning when you go over a ring or a ring pull, you get like a double beep, and knowing that there's a hole in the middle, so you can I'm starting to learn what is in there before I actually dig it up, for example.
Well, let me give you another piece of advice. Sometimes a wedding ring will give you that double beep as well, because you're picking up one side, and that machine is fast enough that it can pick up both sides of that and give you a double beep. So don't discount some of those. But if you're going to dig gold rings, you're going to have to dig pull tabs anyway. It doesn't matter. I mean,
I've come to that conclusion.
Yeah, there's no way around it. And somebody wanted to know what the ratio of digging pull tabs. How many gold rings are you going to dig as opposed to how many pull tabs? I don't know, but I would say, I used to hunt parks, and I would say you dig one gold ring for every 200 or 300 pull tabs.
Yeah, so I think that'd be on par.
Yeah, it's a bunch, whatever it is, and of course that's not a scientific study or anything, but that's been my experience.
Yeah. So in Australia, how was getting permission? Is it fairly easy, or is a lot of people metal detect? Or how does
there's a big community in Australia that metal detect. A lot of people hit out the parks quite often, and I'm starting to steer away from that now because of that. So I'm looking more at the history side of things. So I'm doing a lot more a little bit more sitting back on the computer and trying to learn where it was, when it was. So where I live is not an old area. It's probably, I think where I live, where I'm at now, is probably only about 25 years old. But the homestead I was detecting, where I was finding the cartwheel pennies and the 1830s silvers and 1900s pennies, and also found some 1850s tokens as well, which is quite cool. That homestead dates back to 1879 or something like that. So the area is sort of a little bit old, but it's funnily enough, I was still finding coins in the 1797 range right through to 1850s tokens in a place that was built in 1879. So a lot of the inner city areas are quite old, and that's what I tend to look for now. And a lot of the older relics, Army buttons and Navy buttons and the like of that. We're finding a lot of English stuff because there's obviously a lot of English settlement. Mm-hmm. But I'm now looking for a lot of old Army camps and training areas from World War II. World War I was more, not so big in Australia, but World War II was a definite influence with the Australian Defence Force being involved. And not far from where I live, in a place called Werribee, or Hoppers Crossing, we've got the race course in Werribee, and that was an old Army camp where they used as a base. But all along that stretch, along the highway there, was where they had all the bombers and all the planes lined up and stationed for maintenance and so forth. And at the moment, it's actually a treatment plant, but there's a lot of open paddocks and fields, so it's a matter of time before I try and hit them up with some permission, unless it's open land and I can go for it. But funnily enough, the homestead I was talking about is owned by our local Parks Victoria, so the state parks own that land, and I went in there knowing it was closed to public, but I went in through the beach, so I thought, unless they told me off, I can't be told off being in there. I went in there and I didn't dig any holes. I just had a little trowel and me pinpointer and me detector, and I was in there, and they came over and said g'day, and they said as long as you fill your holes, you're fine. And ever since then, we speak to them all the time. They ask us what we found, and we leave it in good order, and that's the way we leave it, and we tend to have no problem there. But that's really my favourite place, and the reason for that being also is because it's close to home. It's within 5 minutes from home, so I live in an area that's still getting built with new houses now, and I've got a homestead that's over 100 years old within 5 minutes of the house. So
now, you're allowed to hunt government property
with permission, and like you probably have over there as well, permission. Especially with government property, you either get it or you don't. Depends on the individual, I suppose. But it's not too bad. Like I can even hunt like parks and stuff. I stay off the fields and so forth, like the sporting fields. But some councils push back. I've had one council. My wife was in hospital a few months ago, and I was I took the detector with me to the hospital, and I went out when she was sleeping, went to a local park and had a bit of a hunt around, and I had the local council officers say to me, you can't dig here, and I said, I'm just pulling out bottle caps and ring pulls, but they didn't want to borrow it, so I looked at their bylaws online, and it did state that there was no metal detecting allowed in that park, so you just move on until you get told to move on, really.
Okay. Well, here there's a lot of the state parks and the government-owned property. If you was to get caught, I mean, it was some guys in East Tennessee, where I'm from, and they was caught hunting on a government property, and they got prison time out of it, and
wow.
several $1,000 fines. So, but yeah, it's very illegal here. So
that's pretty crazy. I haven't run into that yet. So, like what we did on we have a Australian rules football over here. It's like rugby, not like rugby. It's like gridiron, but you kick the ball rather than throwing it. And on the grand final we had in late September, I actually went the day after to the car park outside the big ground. So the ground holds over 100,000 people, and so the car park outside's all grass. So imagine what you're sort of finding when you're walking over it. Between three of us, and I think two of our three of us had Equinoxes, 6 hours, we pulled $170 out of the ground. So that was a good day. It was just a bit of fun just to get used to it all.
That's a lot of digging, I'll tell you. That's a lot of digging.
A lot of it was really close to the surface, though, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I got a question. What do people in Australia think whenever they listen to two rednecks with a metal detector talk?
You mean on the
yeah, I'm talking
your show?
When they listen to me and Jeff on the podcast talk, what do you guys think about hearing us talk?
I know a few of the Australian guys that are on the Facebook group, and I only know them because I've told them to go and have a look at it. And I've suggested that I'm an admin on the Equinox users page for the Australian guys. I don't know how many of the other guys actually listen to it like I do. If I've got a hobby, metal detecting is a very strong hobby of mine, I go flat out on it and I don't stop. I don't know if the other guys are as serious as what I am, but I haven't actually spoken to them about what they think of the show as such. I know you had a young guy named Brendan Forbes just recently join your Facebook group. He's my hunting partner, and that's who I go out with to the older sites. And he runs a Xterra 705. And the funny thing is that Homestead, when we go out and have a bit of a play around there for the whole day, he'll dig up bullets and so forth, and he'll get 303 shells or 22s and live 22 rounds. And I can't find any of that. All I'm finding is coins and tokens. And he's like, man, how do you find all these tokens and pennies? So I got, I don't know, just turn up. But, it's definitely a good thing. And I think, between you guys, History Seekers, Beyond Sight and Sound, all those podcasts I listen to, I've really enjoyed it. And I religiously listen to them every week when I drive for work. Because every week for work, one day a week, I drive about 4 hours for one of my days. And if I haven't caught up on the latest ones when I'm not listening to them live, I go through the archives and go as far back as I can. And the amount of information I get off you guys is incredible. It really helps. No matter where you are in the world, you could be in the UK or the US or even Australia, and you can implement the same ideas of what you guys do, whether it be looking for bullets or coins or tokens, whatever it might be. Use the same ideas to hunt in different environments. So whether it be beach detecting or whether it be park, or I know, Loy, you do a lot of field detecting and you wait for the crops to be cut and everything like that. Right. I haven't even tried that yet, but that'd be great fun, I reckon.
Well, if you can find old maps and things there, and then trace where those old sites are, that's where your oldest stuff is going to be. I mean, I used to hunt parks and churches and things like that, but you're going to get more modern stuff. And Jeff and I, we like to hunt the older sites because that's the oldest stuff that we're going to find. And we don't find a lot of coins, and when we find them, we generally find a good one. This year I've got a couple of cap bust, and Jeff got a pistarine, and we've got each got reals, and we've each got large cents, and those are the kind of things that we're looking for, and we know that we're going to do a lot of hunting, and we're going to dig a lot of targets, and every now and then one of those are going to pop up.
Is that what you're finding? Sorry,
a lot of our sites. It's just littered with square nails, so they're called cut nails. And I mean, it's just it'll drive you crazy a lot of times. But once you get used to that, then you can hone in on the brass targets or the silver targets. And we do, like Seven said, we don't find that many coins, but when we do find coins, they're really good coins. And
so do you open the discrimination when you're in the fields and so forth? Do you open the discrimination right up so you're finding everything, or
no? We run no discrimination. We run it like on the AT Pro Zero, and we like to hear everything.
And I'm the same way on the Equinox. I'm running my horseshoe on, where I'm hearing absolutely everything.
Do you have it going different tones all the time? Like, is it making your head go crazy, or do you find your targets are few and far between?
The iron sounds on the Equinox are really low, and so you're not picking if you get a great big piece of iron, it's going to ring up a 12 or 13 on my machine, and you're going to dig those anyway. But if you're at an old site, you want to dig the iron anyway, because it could be a cannonball frag or a cannonball or a military shell, or it could be a stirrup, and there's just a lot of the big iron that we like to dig, and it may lead you into a trash pit or anything. So, we're not against digging a little bit of iron, and that's just part of the game. I mean, if you're gonna find the good stuff and the old stuff, you're gonna have to dig a lot of junk.
I guess that's something I've got to get used to more, lowering my discrimination till I'm at the point where I've got no discrimination and finding those older sites. I think because I'm in a major city, there's 5 million people and growing, it's pretty crazy. The amount, if I was to go into a local park, the machine wouldn't stop beeping even if I put it down in one spot, and I wouldn't be able to noise cancel or anything. But in the older sites, like the Homestead, I can pretty much walk over a lot of the area now, and that I could open up to Horseshoe and it wouldn't be a problem at all. And some of the stuff I pulled out of there, and that's why I've really enjoyed that place quite well, is amazing. And it's not far from a RAAF air base as well. And back in the day, they used to use the area next door, which is now a coastal park. They used to use that as a firing range, hence why I'm finding a lot of 303 blank shells. I've also found a brass fuse for something bigger, I'm not too sure. But I'm really more so enjoying finding the older stuff than all the modern coins. I mean, the modern coins are good, and if I'm out for work and I'm overnight for work every week, I'll go to a park, and if I find $10, $20, it's great. But I really do enjoy the weekend detecting where I get a chance to find something a little bit older. Yeah.
Hey, great call. Glad that we finally got hooked up. We're going to have you on as a guest one night. I want to talk to him all night, don't you, Jeff?
I would love to. I've got so many questions, but I'm sure it's not cheap calling to the States. So, or is it? Or is it through
the internet? So
yeah, it's Skype, so it's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've come home to do this call, so I normally work during the day. So at the moment it's like 1:12 in the afternoon, and I'm normally back in work. And I've told my boss today I'll start at 7 a.m. and I'd finish at 3. And I said to him I'll be going home for the middle of the day because I want to listen to an online podcast in the city in the US and hopefully ring in and have a chat to the guys. But thank you so much for all the information you guys share and all the guests that you have on there. Fantastic. Even last week when you had the Gary Penter doing the little dioramas and so forth, that was fantastic as well. So between you, Loy and Jeff, you keep up the good work, and you've done a great thing for all metal detectors out there, and I'm sure everyone appreciates what you do.
We certainly do appreciate you, and I love you sending that picture in of your car radio and the high technology, and there it was, Relics Radio, and I don't remember who we had on as a guest that night, but all that information is on your radio, and we had that on the Relics Radio Facebook group page, and I said, we're live in Australia, and I know that Ken and them were really excited to get one of their shirts in Australia. So pass the word. Get as many people over there listening to us and all the other podcasts as possible.
The good thing about it is, as I said before, it's not just, even though you're a US show and you get out to Canada and some of the other guys, like you got other guys from other countries as well. It's just if you might talk, for example, I really enjoy when you talk about Confederate and Union places and stuff like that. And I think to myself, how can I relate that information into where I'm at and what I'm looking for and what I'm finding? Like looking for army camps in Australia, they might list them on the internet, but they don't list the locations. So you got to try and work it out. And that's when you have to go back to old maps, as you say, and layering on different maps and putting a layer of the current map over an old map. I'm still getting used to doing all that, but it's really helpful information, and I really enjoy it when you guys talk about the history of some of the sites you guys hit. And even though I don't know exactly where these places are, I can implement the same information into what I'm looking for in Australia.
Well, research is research, and it doesn't matter if you're in England or Australia or the U.S. or where you're at, I mean, the techniques of research are all the same, and so we try to do as much of that as we can. But we certainly do appreciate the call, and you hang on and listen to the rest of the show. Don't know who's going to win this pinpointer and everything, but yeah, we're going to have you on as a guest. We'll work out the details on that and catch you when you've got some free time and have you
Thanks,
on
Evan.
for the full hour and a half one night.
No worries at all. Thanks, guys, and I'll get back on the chat, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
while we're doing that, let's run one more commercial, and then we're free of commercials. If you want to keep up with what's going on in the metal detecting world, then you need to be a subscriber to American Digger magazine. Butch and Anita Holcomb are the publishers of the magazine and have won awards for 3 straight years for being the best digger magazine on the market. American Digger magazine is available in both print and digital formats, so no matter where you live in the world, you can enjoy the latest happenings in the hobby. You can get in touch with American Digger magazine by going to americandigger.com or give them a call at 770-362-8671. And be sure and tell them that you heard it on Relics Radio. And I want to put in one more plug. In the January-February issue of American Digger, my article, The Great Silver Horde, with Jeff Ford, Wes Stringer, and Chris Heimsoff will come out. So catch that. I don't have my hard copy of this latest edition yet, and I noticed that some of the others don't. Maybe a little bit back up with a printer or something other. But, hey, I want to go around the horn here real quick with what did you think about that call, Ken?
Oh man, that's absolutely awesome. I love. I follow Chris and see a lot of his finds. I became friends with him on Facebook after we were able to get that shirt deal done, and see what he's finding, and he's killing it out there, doing a great job, and getting to put a voice with a face now, and I'm giddy. I mean, that was a great call. I'm looking forward to the full interview.
Yeah, I am too. What'd you think about it, Josh? You're thinking like us. You want to get him on, don't you?
I've had a few guests from Australia on, and I do admit I did have to kind of laugh when he mentioned Beyond Sight and Sound. I'm not sure if he realized I was on here with you or not. So that was a little comical. Yeah,
my bad. I should have said, well, that you were on and let him give a shout out to you there real quick. I was just all wrapped up in his conversation and everything, But
yeah, I'm thinking about the
conversation.
Gold Triangle. I would love to hit that a couple of times.
I would too. I tell you.
Absolutely. But you know what, though? Really, it doesn't matter how you word it, how you paint it. We're all still out there searching for history, whether it's here in the States or abroad. So the information translates just fine. We all talk treasure.
Yeah, and
that's right.
And the research, you're going to have to go through the same legwork of swinging, finding a debris field. You're going to have to, before you get to that point, you're going to have to find a map, and you're going to have to locate those older sites and things like that. We've got a little bit of house cleaning to do before we get to the giveaway thing. We did have, in show prep, we had some questions, and we probably need to address those before we go much further. I thought that we'd probably hit those things earlier in the show, but we've had a lot of participation here tonight, a lot of people in the chat. And
appreciate every bit of it.
Yeah, we sure do. But Bob McCracken wanted to know how we met and how we put together the podcast. You want to go on that, Jeff?
Well, yeah. I was sitting on the internet one day, and I'd seen this old man. He had a YouTube channel, and it was called Digging with Seven. So I thought, well, he's I got to looking, and he's not maybe an hour and a half away. So I messaged him and everything, and then next thing you know, we met up and started hunting, and then we just become friends after that. I mean, it's like we read each other's mind when we're out metal detecting. And then we hunted for maybe 2 years, and then you said something about a podcast, and then of course I was like, well, that sounds pretty good, and I had no idea.
He thought it was something to eat. He thought it was something to eat.
No, I knew what a podcast was. I always joke about that, but no, I really knew what a podcast was. But I never believed that it would go this far. I was like, well, yeah, we'll try it. And then a little over a year later, here we are, and seeing our shirts in Australia, Canada. I mean, I'm speechless. I had no idea. So that's pretty much how we met.
Yeah. I was doing shout-outs at the time on my page, and I saw Jeff's work. I liked it. I liked the kind of hunting that he did. I did a shout-out to him, and that kind of opened up the door, I guess, for him to holler at me, and we went and hunted together a little bit, and the chemistry just worked. Now, we've had a little bit of a rough go this year on our detecting. That's fixing to all go away. We're going to get back in the full swing of things here beginning tomorrow. We're going to go out and hunt tomorrow. But looking forward to having more detecting videos together. But the podcast has just been a blessing. I tell you, I have enjoyed every minute of it. It's a lot of work, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. And I think we've got better in detecting just because of the guests that we've had on and all the information that we've had to share.
Oh, yeah, I've learned a lot just by our guest on the show, and then the guys in the comments. I mean, Matt Howe was talking about privies, and then what was that? Boxwood trees they would plant after they'd move the privy. They would plant a boxwood tree. I had no idea.
Yeah, we've got all kind of information like that. And I tell you something else that the podcast has done, and we're running close. We're going to go over an hour and a half tonight. I know that we are, and you guys probably don't have anything better to do anyway. But one thing that the podcast has got us, there is a production company that has reached out to Jeff and I about doing a television show, a metal detecting television show that incorporates storytelling and looking at old sites and things like that and telling the history behind those sites and then detecting, not necessarily to get massive, expensive finds and things like that, but just kind of what we turn up. And that's still in the first phases of that. We're checking in and just kind of seeing what that might entail, so that may be something in our future to look forward to. But we owe that to the podcast, don't we?
We sure do. And I mean, he called us, and then Seven had his interview, and I had mine, and he seemed like he was ready to go. So we just got to wait. And of course, I don't know how the production life is, so I'm sure it takes a while to get everything together.
I'd say so. And it's just exploratory right now, as we say. Don't say we're going to have a television show, because we're not to that point yet. Yeah. But it is quite humbling to me and exciting, too, that they listen to our podcast. And then it's a Canadian-based company, but the guy that talked to us has an office in Los Angeles. They work with the History Channel and the Travel Channel and some of the bigger people, in the entertainment business on cable. So we'll see what happens with it, but I'm quite put back by getting that call. And also, Dennis Gretchencord said, "When are you taking me?"
Well, whenever you get down here. Plan a trip there, maybe February, something like that, and we'll work something out. And you can contact Seven and or me on Facebook, and we'll work something out. So. And then Dirk, he was a long time. He was done drummer as a hobby, and then he was asking Seven, what is the what was that, Seven? He was asking.
He wanted to know what kind of snare drum that I use.
Snare drum, yeah,
that I use on my music. And full disclosure, not all the music that is on our shows and on our YouTube stuff is all mine. Some of it is, and some of it's not. But the drums that are on the music that I record the snare drum. It's an old set of pearls, and they were white, and really good sound. But I'll give you a tip on that. It's not necessarily the drum that you have; it's the production of it, how you mic it, and what effects and everything that you put in with it, whether you got reverb or slapback or what have you, and the mic that you use on that. So, I hope that answered that question and other questions that we addressed right there. Are we ready to try this live YouTube thing?
Yeah, I guess we can try it and see how it works. So, if anybody can figure it out,
guys.
Before
you do that, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. But I wanted to call and say you recently celebrated your 1-year anniversary. A lot of great shows. I'm sure there's many more to come. Keep up the good work. And speaking of history, some of the listeners may want to do a little research into the true history of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're right on that. And they do need to do that. And it's an amazing study and everything.
It really is.
That's
hey,
right.
thanks for calling
up the good
in.
Work, guys.
And by the way,
thank you, Josh.
Me and Josh and Jeff and Barb and Chuck Smalley, and there's just a whole bunch of us. We're in this Christmas giveaway thing, and Jeff and I have put a metal detector in that. I know that Josh has put a metal detector in that. I know that Heath and Treasure Mountain has put a metal detector in that. And you can go to Beyond Sight and Sound, or you can go to Relics Radio, or the several sites in there that you can go to. New Age Goonies, and all of those are carrying that great Christmas giveaway. Say something about that before you go.
Or search Facebook for the Great Metal Detecting Christmas Giveaway.
That's simple enough right there. Sure is.
Hey, and also out there to Ken and Mark at Detectees, they can keep up the good work, too. They're doing a great job.
They are. And
thank you, Josh.
How long is it going to be before we get the Beyond Sight and Sound shirts?
Well, I don't know. That's a hard logo to duplicate. But you never know. It may be sooner than we think. Who knows?
Okay. Anyway, thanks for calling in, Josh. Appreciate it. And
always keep them guessing.
Yep. We're going to keep Ken on the line here. I'm fixing to hit go live on Facebook. It says rotate your phone. You can't turn. Okay, I've got it. We are live. So somebody can probably go to the Relics Radio Facebook group page, and I'm fixing to put the number 40 in here at the bottom. It'll be 1 through 40, and I'm doing this with my phone, and it's shaking everywhere. Craig Atwater says he's watching, so it is live. And I'm going to hit the generate button, and I've got so many things coming up on the screen here now, I can't see it. It's hard to do this with one hand and run everything else. Anyway, drum roll, Jeff. We're going to hit the generate. We are generating, and it's number 24 is the number. I'm going to have to get my paper here now and look and see who is number 24. Craig Atwater. Now, boys, that wasn't set up, but Craig was one of the first guys that came on. Craig Atwater, you have just won a Garrett AT Pro-Pointer, and you guys are seeing this live. Now, we didn't rig this. And you're also going to get what, Ken? What are you guys going to send him?
We're going to send him a Relics Radio hoodie, and we can give it to him in the gray, or get it to him in the awesome good luck green. So either way, whatever he wants. In fact, I'm going to be in Craig's neighborhood next week or the week after next. I might bring it to him personally.
And just, I'm shaking just a little bit, but just to show everybody that is live on Facebook, I'm going to go down the list. Jeff Ford, Jesse Rogers, Emily Copeland, Ken King, Wes Stringer, Dirk, Patrick, Solo, Mark, Bob, Liz, David, Dennis, Josh, Richie, Bill, Paige, Earl, Deborah, Jason, Roland, Mike, Stephen, Craig, Matt, Caden, Will, Bill, James, Vic, Tony, Tim, Pete, Carl, Shane, Chris, Ed, Chris Heimsoff, Ron Reed, and Jordan Anderson. Ron Reed and Jordan Anderson just got in on the last. But there it is, number 24 right there, Craig Atwater. And you see the number 24 on the screen, and it was 1 out of 40. So congratulations to him. And I'm going to finish the live YouTube thing here. And that will be on. I guess you heard the ding and everything. And what you guys don't know is now I got to go back and find my music and everything, because I do all of that with my phone. Now, whenever when we get this, when Dave sends us this new computer, all of that's going to be a thing of the past. I'll be able to do all of that, and
there'll be something else you'll have to do on your phone. I guarantee it.
I know it.
You'll find something else.
It will be. I'll do something else with it. What a great show that we have had tonight. Hey, the phone lines are open. If somebody wants to call in and keep it going just a little bit, I know that Ohio Relic Hunter always wants to keep a show going. So, Bill, if you want to keep it going, we'll call in. We'll give it here 2 or 3 minutes. If somebody wants to call in and keep the show going, we'll stay here for a few more minutes. But Ken, you're gonna take care of all that, right?
Yes, sir. I've already PM'd Craig. I've already got Bill Hayes' address from earlier. Just need to get I PM'd Paul as well on Messenger, and hopefully going to hear from him. But either way, I'll track him down if I need to, make sure he gets his free shirt. But yeah, it's a great night. And Craig, I know Craig actually purchased something from me, so I know I have his address. Just have to get his size, and he wants for the hoodie and what color he wants. So we'll get that taken care of. I'm excited about it, and we'll make sure he's good to go.
This was an exciting contest, and
it sure was.
I want to do it again because it meant a lot to us, and I know it meant a lot to Ken and Mark to see these shows coming. And we do have a call. Diggin' Canuck is in the house. Right on, right on.
Well, hello there.
Hello. I just wanted to say congratulations on 1 year.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I catch Liz a little bit before church every Sunday morning and check in with her show. And then she has a show while we're trying to prep for this show on Thursday night. Dadgum, you pull all of our listeners at the first of our show. But you're doing a great job with yours. And it's a whole lot harder doing what you do than what we do.
Oh, my goodness. Do you have anybody that helps you with your preparation? Because it's just me.
Well, no, it's just me. I mean, Jeff will look through and get the questions. He looks through the chat and kind of keeps up with all of that. I couldn't do any of that, but all the show prep and running all the controls and everything in here, it's all me. But I've kind of got used to it, you know. I mean, of course, I've done radio before, so it's not that big a deal.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I think you both do a tremendous job, and it's great to celebrate a 1 year milestone. I think it's fantastic. So congrats to you both.
It is.
Well,
and
thank you, Liz.
I don't know if you heard or not, but there's a production company up your way, and a Canadian-based company that's kind of reached out to Jeff and I, and the possibility that we may do a television show in the future. So we're kind of excited.
Well. I hope you remember the little people.
Y'all are not little people. I mean, all of you people have taken us to where we are right now. And I tell you, we need to spread the love around just to everybody, because, without you guys, this would have been a flop, wouldn't it, Jeff? I mean, an absolute flop.
Oh, yeah, it would have been. I mean, we couldn't sit here and talk to ourselves all night long. And, I mean, of course, there's so many people in the comment. I think Dave put 1,000 comments right now. And then, I mean, there's more just coming in. And there's no way we could have done this without our listeners and the guys that call in and ladies.
And it's the same. That's true. It's same with Liz, isn't it?
Yeah, I think with yourself or with both of you, people, there's a lot of people that watch you and that will also leave a message, I guess, or your chat. But I know some people do want to call, but they're afraid to call. I don't know. I really think that that more people really, really need to call, because it's totally about reaching out to the viewers and the viewers calling in, because otherwise there would be no show.
That's true.
That's absolutely right.
I mean, the chat's good. Don't get me wrong. We love the chat, but sometimes the chat takes on a life of its own. You know, I mean, they were talking about, we mentioned
catfish dinner or,
couch.
Something like
they had a whole segment on couch here tonight, and so if you want to know about them, we'll go back to the chat.
I learned a lot on coyotes just listening to the chat, watching the chat.
Yeah,
and you miss a lot too. You cannot. It's impossible for you to keep up with the chat. Sometimes it just flies down your screen.
It does.
It does. It really does. Now, I'll say Mark Hoover, he does a really good job of helping us. Now, Mark Hoover does a lot for Relics Radio, and I mean, bless his heart. I mean, I can't say how much he helps us. I mean, he's a real big help.
He is, and all of the booking stuff now. This last week, officially, Mark became our agent. We're going to need, we're going to need an agent if we're going to do anything with a production company. We knew that there's going to be a lot of legal stuff, but we talked to Mark and we said, let's just put this, let's just make this official. You are our booking agent now, and Mark has done tremendous work for us, and he's done it, and he hadn't made a penny. He's just like us. He's dead broke, you know, and so hopefully, in the future we might get a few returns on some of the work that we've done. I hope so anyway, and I hope that I'm glad to have Mark on board, and he's on a cruise, him and Gail, and we wish them the best.
Yeah, I've been watching some of his pictures he's been posting on Facebook.
Yeah, it makes you jealous, doesn't it?
I didn't want to say it, but now that you brought it up.
The last one I seen, they were in Jamaica.
Yeah.
They're having a ball. There's no doubt about it. And you said a while ago, I think, Liz, said, remember the little people. And Ohio Relic Hunter said, you guys have seen Loy. None of them are little people. Or he said to Ken, he said, you know our shirt sizes. None of us are little people. But these guys are hilarious, I tell you.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to call in just so that you know there are a lot of people that support you out there, and wish you many, many more seasons of the show. Totally.
Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you very much.
That means
you're welcome. I hope you both had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I hope that you're eating turkey sandwiches for the next little week or so.
We will be.
I'm sure we will be.
And I told my wife they cooked 7 pans. Now get it, 7 pans of dressing. And I said, I want one of those pans to be here, and I don't want anybody's paws in it, because I love dressing. And we only get it twice a year.
On.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I just got 2 pans.
You just got 2? Well, you didn't have 70-something people at your house either.
No, just about 15.
Yeah.
And that was a lot.
Yeah, we have a big family. I posted some pictures today of me and Raina and our 11 grandchildren, and then there's 21 of us all together when we get the kids in there. But then all the extended family and everything, brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and all that. I mean, there was a house full. Just so happens that we do it just right on down the road. We all live on the same farm, but did it at her sister's house, and I'm able to walk away from that whenever I get ready to.
And see, of course, we have a lot of babies in our family, and then, of course, I think every one of them started crying at the same time. It was terrible for a minute, and then you just have to go outside, and then finally I come back in, and I think half of them had stopped crying. It got a little bearable then. But.
Well, our youngest daughter has got a little old dash hound, little old bitty dog, and I don't think that she had ever been down to Raina's sister's. And there's a yellow cat down there, and the yellow cat, there ain't no dogs bother it around here, you know, in the neighborhood. And this little dog got after it and run it up a tree and was treeing it. I'd never heard a little dash hound tree a cat or anything. And I told my brother-in-law, I said, right now, that cat is looking down and saying, well, this has never happened to me. And that has got to be the ugliest and the orneriest little squirrel that I've ever seen in my life. Oh, just to watch wildlife sometimes and animals, it is hilarious. And the people, too, you know.
Yes,
Yep.
definitely.
Hey, Liz, thanks for the call, and good luck with your shows. You're doing a great job, bang-up job, and, you know, it's humbling to know that people like to listen and watch our shows, isn't it?
It really
absolutely,
is.
we absolutely do. Definitely do.
Yep.
Well, have a very good night, and I'll catch you on the web.
Okay, all right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for the call. And
You're
Liz
very
is
welcome.
Liz is right.
you, Liz.
We like new callers, and what we're going to start doing in the future after this show here tonight, shirts that we give away, we're going to give away to a brand new caller. We want to generate new people calling in. It's not that we don't like our old callers, because we do, but we want to get as many new people in this as we can, because you know, you get over your fear of calling in. We get to talk to you, and just like Chris calling in tonight, I mean, I can see Chris talking for a whole show. Can't you, Jeff?
I can. I mean, he was a great talker, and there's so many questions that I'm sure everybody in the comment section has for him, and I know I've got enough for about a show.
That's good. That's good, because we're the ones that have to ask the questions and everything. There's no doubt.
Yep.
Okay, guys, this was a great night. We've been looking forward to this night, and congratulations to everybody that won something. Remember now, December the 13th, we're going to give away a metal detector, so go to Digging with 7, go on the Christmas giveaway there, and type in Go Find in the comments, and we will give you a number. And then on December 13th, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to do a live Facebook and draw that number, and whoever's lucky number that we draw, you're going to get a Mind Lab metal detector for Christmas. That's a good deal, ain't it, Jeff?
It's a real great deal. And the Go Find 44, it's not a bad machine at all.
No, I mean, that's a good starter machine. There's no doubt about it. And thank you, Ken, for being on with us tonight. Thank you for all that you guys do for us.
Well, I certainly thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been a great show. It's been a great show. It's been a great Thanksgiving. So
it has.
I'm glad everybody.
And
I look at the comments. It's almost 1,100 comments.
That's
busy
good.
Folks here tonight.
That's good. And on Thanksgiving night, you know, we kind of toyed around with the idea, because we did a pre-recorded show last Thanksgiving, but we only had one show under our belt. And I said, do you think that people will listen? And, you know, me and Jeff kind of hashed it around. I said, yeah, they ain't got to laugh. They'll listen to this, you know. And sure enough, they did. But we've just had a ball. We've had a lot of fun. And just a reminder also that the South Carolina show is coming up. I love doing those live shows. That's going to be January the 5th and the 6th. It'll be us, it'll be American Digger Relic Roundup, and it'll be History Seekers, and anybody else that wants to come to that show. If, you know, All Metal Mode wants to, Josh, if he wants to come from Beyond Sight and Sound, Derek and Craig from Hardcore Metal, if they want to come, XP Deus. Let me just go through the list of these, and by the way, Jeff, I will see you tomorrow. We're going to hunt. We're going to find us some good stuff tomorrow, ain't we?
We sure are. I'm hopeful. We're
going to have our Relics Radio stuff on, and we're going to have the mojo working tomorrow, and we're going to find us something.
Don't forget to bring something blazed orange, because they are deer hunters on this farm. So,
well, I hunted yesterday and hunted down by the cabin down there where we found the $5 bill on the ground. And whenever I got back to the car, right in behind the cabin, somebody shot, and I mean, it was only a few yards from me. Scared me to death.
Oh, man.
And the guy was target practicing because he shot about 15 times. I guess he'd shot at a deer and missed it. But, yeah, if you guys are out hunting and deer season is still open up in your area, be careful because, we don't want to have any tragedies or anything. But hang on, Jeff, and I'll get back with you in just a moment. And you got any parting comments tonight?
Just thank everybody in the comment section, all the callers, and we could not do this without you. It's been a year, a little over a year, and we are in Australia. Next thing in Canada, next thing you know, we're going to be in Jamaica. We're going to be in China. We're going to be in Japan. You just name it, and we're going to be there. And Mark and Ken, they're going to help us get there.
Yeah, and Russia. We'll be in Russia.
Russia, yep.
Because we are right now colluding with the Russians to get Relics Radio in there. Anything that we can do to get the show going. And we do want to reach out to the people in the UK that listen to us. We don't have a shirt over there yet, but I think that will change in the near future. But anyway, thank you guys. And if you like Relics Radio and podcasts that talk about metal detecting, I know we didn't talk a whole lot about metal detecting tonight. It was a different kind of show. But check out Beyond Sight and Sound on Sunday night and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. All Metal Mode is on Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. American Digger Relic Roundup is on Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. History Seekers is on Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. Hardcore Metal Detecting is on Thursday night and Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we got a new show in the lineup, and that is XP Team USA. They're on every other Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So check out those shows. Check us out next Thursday night. We're going to have another great guest, and we'll see you Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Relics Radio. We really do appreciate it. Be sure and join us live each Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern here on Spreaker. Or you can catch the archive show at Relics Radio on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, or iTunes. Please take a minute and hit the like button and be sure and follow us so that you'll get notifications of all of our upcoming broadcasts. You can also find us on YouTube at Digging with Seven or Tennessee Jeff, or you can check us out on our Relics Radio Facebook page. If you'd like to get in touch with us, then send an email to diggingwith7@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We hope you'll join us next Thursday night, and until then, get out there and dig some history.